It's a pleasant evening in the Unova region as a young man is watching a Pokemon battle on television, none other than the hero of our story, 15-year-old Ash Ketchum from Unova town. He's watching a match between two members of the Elite Four, the tactical normal type expert Charon and the trickster dark type master Grimsley. They're both on equal footing as they're sparring with their Watchog and Liepard, not giving an inch or any signs of weaknesses. Ash is excited to start his Pokemon journey tomorrow, not knowing yet which starter he should pick. However, his mother Delia walks into his room and tells him to go to sleep to not wake up late on the day after and to go to the lab of Professor Juniper. And so he does. But during the middle of the night, a thunderstorm passes by the city's skyline, causing some electrical malfunctions to local appliances, including Ash's alarm clock. In the midst of his dream, Ash sees himself in a grey-colored world, filled with clouds. However, he's lucky that his mom is an early rufflet, waking him up as he gets prepared to leave the house in a rush, not properly cleaned or tied up, skipping breakfast even. This gets the attention of a local Minccino, who spots Ash's untidy hat and snatches it, with Ash pursuing the normal-type Pokemon to the other side of the town. Realizing the time, Ash rushes to the lab, as Minccino follows him, since he had fun playing with Ash. However, when Ash arrives, he bumps into his senior, Bianca, who is Professor Juniper's assistant. He says hi to her and apologizes for the delay, much to his misfortune, as Bianca tells Ash that all of the Pokemon were already picked by 3 trainers, so Professor Juniper doesn't have anyone left for him. The 3 trainers in question drop by to the entrance of the laboratory, those being Chloe, Go, and Trip, who picked Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott, respectively. As Ash explains the situation, Trip mocks him for being so uptight over something so basic as a hat, to which Ash remarks that it was a gift from his father, who inspired him to start his own Pokemon journey. Chloe understands Ash's sentiment, as she and Go are themselves on a journey to study the terrestrial phenomenon all over the Unova region, to get data for her own father, Professor Cerise, of the Research Institute of Accumula Town. Even Professor Juniper acknowledges the importance of such momentum, as she recalls that her passion for Pokemon mythology stems from the expeditions she too did with her own dad, Cedric. Trip dismisses this, saying that family ties only get in your way of the dreams and your goals, and that they shouldn't be that close-minded. Professor Juniper recalls the fact that Trip is none other than the nephew of Briar, one of the teachers at the Blueberry Academy. He even tells Ash that the Minccino he was chasing wasn't probably worth the time or attention, only for the Chinchilla Pokemon to jump from the bushes and attack Trip after such an insult. Trip challenges them to a battle, to which Minccino accepts, agrees much to Ash's dismay, but he also complies, thanking the Pokemon for the cleaning he did to his hat prior, making them smile. They go to the battlefield, and Bianca is now the match's referee. It's a one-on-one battle, as Trip sends out Oshawott. Trip takes the advantage as he starts with a priority of Aqua Jet attacks, attacking Minccino. This continues in a flurry of blows from all directions, as Ash doesn't know what moves to use due to the lack of a Pokédex and their scanning capabilities. He follows his instinct, ordering a pound attack, which works, but sadly it doesn't land. Ash tells Minccino to use them swift, and Oshawott easily reflects the shooting stars with his own Razor Shell, coming for Minccino as he intercepts it with Pound. Go notices that Oshawott has moves of a high-level Pokemon, now realizing why Trip was so adamant and immediately choosing him. He must have realized the Pokemon's conditions and pedigree by a mere glimpse alone, envying his observation skills. Minccino looks at Ash, trusting his judgment, and giving him a nod, as Ash calls out for Encore, trying to trap the Oshawott into a Razor Shell loop, but Trip foresees this and uses Fury Cutter instead, now locked into a move that gains more power with each and every strike. Minccino tries to intersect it with Pound, much to no avail. After being beaten to a pulp, the normal-type Pokemon shouts in pain and agony, damaging Oshawott unlike never before. Bianca notices this, to be in the move Echoed Voice, a very powerful normal-type attack. Trip gives Ash a grin, and gives command to Oshawott to use Revenge, landing a super effective hit on Minccino with the fighting type attack, knocking them down and therefore winning the battle. And as he does, his Oshawott begins to glow in a white-colored aura, evolving into Duwat immediately. Everyone is in shock, as Trip notices that to win such experience points by just one battle, his debut battle nonetheless, that the Minccino that he fought must have been a strong Pokemon, offering him a spot on his team to realize his true potential. Minccino slaps Trip in the hand with her tail, refusing the call, as he wants to travel with Ash instead. Taking this personally, Trip leaves without saying a word, with Duwat by his side. After being healed, Minccino jumps to Ash's shoulder, taking a nap on his hair, which delightens Delia, who decided to drop by to give Ash a pair of running shoes, as he just now noticed that he was wearing his slippers this entire time. No wonder why his sprinting pace fell off. But as he chuckles, he asks Go and Chloe if he can join them on their adventures to study the terrestrial phenomenon. Because he wants to become a Pokemon master, he needs to learn everything about the Pokemons and their potential. And so they agree, accepting Ash on their quest, being more happy and less mean and pretentious than Trip ever was. And with that, the Unova adventures of Ash and Minccino officially begin.